Hey guys, I'm IzDaisho and I'm here bringing you some Hearthstone, and I haven't made a video in a couple of days, and I think you can probably tell why just from hearing my voice for a second. But anyway, I've been sick for a little while. I know I just was sick a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but you can't really control that. So anyway, I think I am well enough to record some videoage, so let's do it. I think I'm gonna go with Warlock. I just for some reason have almost no luck with Warlock in the arena, and I don't know why. Maybe, I mean, it's probably the way I play it. I don't know if I am doing something wrong, but hopefully this will change. This is a little loud for me, so I'm gonna decrease ye old volume. Alright, so there's a couple of options, Kodo or Defender Vargas, and there's a couple of things to consider for each of them. So Kodo is basically just a card advantage engine. You play this card and you kill one of theirs and you solve a 3/5, which is worth a card. So you get a little advantage out of it. So it's a very good card, and even though you're not killing an amazing thing, you can often kill something relevant, and if not, you can still take away something that's not so important but that you still had to deal with eventually. And then Defender Vargas can provide you with consistency and power level, in that it gives two things, +1/+1. So if you do play it, then and you have two minions to taunt up, then you give them both +1/+1. So then you end up getting a 4 power and 5 toughness, which is really good for 4 mana, and 2 of them come out haste, which is also really good. So that's also a very powerful card. And then the other thing that I think of is that Flame Imp and Life Tap cause you to lose life, so taunts are a little bit better in this deck, because if your opponent is on the aggressive, then you can just drop a big creature and some taunt, and then they have to run through that before they can get to you. So that's what's leaning me towards the Defender, though I'm not sure which one is actually a better card. I think just because of that reason I want to pick the Defender here, though again, I'm not 100% sure if it's the right pick. Another benefit of Defender is that it's pretty good in an aggro deck, because you get to add more haste damage, which is always nice. So Magma Rager and Stone Tusk Boar are two of the worst cards in the game. Well, okay, that's tough to really say, but they're not really anything that you want to play in an arena run. So I'm going to take a Silvermoon Guardian here as just an average to decent card. Alright, so Mortal Coil and Dark Iron Dwarf are both reasonable cards. I think Dark Iron Dwarf is just a lot more powerful. I don't really want a lot of 4s, but as long as they keep making the 4 the best card in the pack, I'm going to take it, at least for the first 10 or so cards. Alright, I'll probably take the Wind Fury Harpy here. Young Dragonhawk is really just a weak card. If you can't buff it, then it does nothing, and even if you can, it's still very easy for them to kill. So not really anything that I'm going to consider. Silencing a minion is a pretty reasonable ability, but it's not amazing, and the fact that he's a 2/1 means that he just dies right away to basically whatever they've got. So for the most part, I don't really want to pick up an Iron Beak Owl. So I think I actually am going to just take this Wind Fury Harpy. I don't really like this card either, but it is a little bit more powerful than these two, and even though obviously a 6-drop is going to be more powerful than 1 or 2, but even though it's a little bit worse as a 6-drop, it still has a reasonable effect on the game, and it's a pretty powerful card. So Wind Fury Harpy it is. So Spiteful Smith or Darkscale Healer or Abusive Sergeant. Getting all these top end cards, I don't really like to start that way. I usually like to start with some 2-drops and stuff like that, and then work my way up, get some more later game cards in the middle of the draft. So obviously this guy's just a 4/6 for 5. This thing is a 4/5. I'm going to take this one, especially since I'm playing Warlock. You get to heal your guys, but 4/6 is somewhat better than 4/5. It's not a negligible difference. So it's definitely, each card has advantages over the other one. This guy has 1 more toughness. This guy can heal your friendly characters, which sometimes creatures, but mostly just going to be +2 to your hero. Alright, I'm going to take the Siphon Soul here. Mana Wraith is not anything I'm looking to play. Felguard is an okay card that I don't hate, but I mean, as you can see, I've already got a lot of top end and expensive cards, so destroying my mana crystals does not seem very good. And killing stuff, now that does seem very good. Speaking of killing stuff, I have Shadowbolt and Youthful Brewmaster. So I do want to pick up 5 to 6 2-drops, I think. So this might be a good way to start, just get a 2 mana 3/2, which is nice. And Shadowbolt is a pretty good card. It's not very efficient though. 3 mana for 4 damage is okay, but the fact that you can only target a minion is not great. Still, I'm going to go with the Brewmaster. I mean, I do think that card is very good, or is reasonable. The Shadowbolt. I'd be pretty happy if I would have taken it over Silvermoon Guardian, Darkscale Healer, or Wind Fury Harpy. But Brewmaster I think is a pretty good card. So I'm going to take the Shattered Sun here. Demon Fire, Mortal Coil are cards that I'm willing to play, but Shattered Sun is one that I'm happy to play. Mad Bomber is a pretty easy pick. War Golem is a little bit too expensive. I mean, these cards, they both have reasonable effects on the game, but as I was talking about with Wind Fury Harpy, they're just a little bit too expensive. So even though they're too expensive, they still do important things for the game. So you can play them in your deck and shove them in there, but they're not going to be as good as some of the Premier 6 or 7 drops. Well, there aren't really Premier 7 drops now that I think about it. So Secret Keeper, obviously I don't have any secrets, so that's not going to be very good for me. And Alarmobot is just terrible and never worth playing. And Crazed Alchemist is an interesting card. Sometimes you can just score free kills on things, but most of the time you're just going to try and use him as some damage. So if your opponent has a minion that's like a 2/4, and you can switch it into a 4/2 and then run your 2/2 into it or something like that. So basically what you want to do is you want to use it as a small damage spell, and sometimes that'll work out for you. I think I'm going to take a Hellfire here. It's always good to have unique effects, and dealing damage to all minions is something that only Area of Effect cards do. So there's going to be like 2 of these cards, maybe 3 in my entire deck, whereas the other 27 are pretty much centered on either being minions or killing minions. So this one is doing something, I mean, yeah, sure, it still kills minions, but it does so in a way that almost no other cards can do in this game. River Crocodile is just an average 2-drop, and this is a below average 3-drop, so I think I'm pretty happy to take a Hellfire here. Soulfire you take over almost anything. Shattered Sun is a very good card, and I really want more of them in my deck. But Soulfire is just too good to pass up. The card disadvantage is not that big of a deal since you can just draw, and you almost never are going to end up running out of cards, so that doesn't really matter. And basically what it ends up doing is that you can pay 2 mana, because your ability costs 2 mana and 2 life, to deal 4 damage to a creature, and then you just can ignore the discard random card part. And the best part about it is that you can pay the 2 on loan, so you don't have to do it that turn, you can do it the next turn or 10 turns later. So very good card. Alright, so second Hellfire, Youthful Brewmaster, Raging Worgen. Hellfire is one of those cards that you don't want too many of them in your deck, because it does hurt you. So it's the most awkward Area of Effect card, and I really like how they made it, because when you're using cards that will damage all of your opponent's minions or whatever, you want to be not losing life. That's the whole point. That's why you want to be able to clear the board, because they're beating you down and you're losing. So by making it deal damage to everything, that is a really nice kind of like flavorful move for the Warlock, who's this kind of evil sorcerer who's going to get bitten by his own potions and stuff. Anyway, I think I'm going to go with this second Youthful Brewmaster. I only need 2 more cards to access one of the coolest combos in the game, which is Summoning Portal, Youthful Brewmasters, and a Knife Juggler, or 2. But I'm not actually trying to do that. It's just a really cool thing. Basically what happens is you can play your Youthful Brewmasters for 1 mana each, and every time they enter the battlefield, you get some Knife Juggler action going on, and it's pretty sweet. Alright, anyway, Raging Worgen is just not as good of a card as a 2 mana 3/2. I need 3 drops. I only have 1 so far, and I'm looking to pick up some more, but I have plenty of draft left to go. I'd rather take a 2 for now. None of these cards are very good. I only have 3 4s that I picked up in the beginning. Hellfire's not really a 4-drop per se, because you don't want to be playing it on turn 4. You want to be playing it much later in the game. So I think I'm going to take this Stormwind Knight. Oasis Snapjaw has better stats, but Charge is a very, very good ability in this game. It allows you to trade favorably whenever you drop this card. So that's really nice. Very, very interesting card. Alright, another Soulfire is Sweet. This card's pretty good too. Dealing 1 damage to everything on a creature is nice, and the fact that he is a 6/6 for 6 is also nice. I mean, that's, if you think about it, he's very similar to Boulder Fist Ogre, which is a 6/7 for 6, because I guess he's more similar to a 7/6 for 6, because the turn he comes out, he deals 1 damage to everything. So it's a little interesting way to think of that. So Shattered Sun is a lot better for my curve, but Chillwind Yeti is just one of the best cards. Man, that's a really tough choice here. I think that this is by far the hardest choice in my deck so far, and it's just a classic decision of what's better, the higher power level card or the card that's good for your curve, and the obvious answer is that it depends on how much better Chillwind Yeti is than Shattered Sun. So how much better the card that's good for your deck, or the higher power level card is good than the card that's good for your curve, and how much the curve is going to matter. And I think, I mean, with 4 drops, if I take my 5th, then that's reasonable, but then getting another one would be unreasonable. Either way, I'm going to take this Chillwind Yeti and hope that I don't miss out by passing up the Shattered Sun. Alright, well, rewarded immediately for a very good 3-drop in this deck. Healing yourself is just always going to be relevant, because it just means that you get to draw another card. And it turns this guy into 5 mana for 3/3, gain a life, draw a card, which is really good, because Azure Drake is amazing already, and it's a 4/4 draw card. So, yeah, very reasonable pickup. I'm very happy to see that guy. Imp Master, Emperor Cobra. Alright, this is an interesting pick. I don't really know which of these is better in a vacuum. I already have 2 Soulfires, so maybe being light on removal is nice. Emperor Cobra usually trades up, and there's almost no risk. Yeah, you know, Imp Master... well, okay, so basically Emperor Cobra generally is just going to be a 1-for-1. Maybe you'll get ahead on mana a little bit, but for the most part, you're not really doing too much powerful things with that. And Imp Master has the potential to 2-for-1, but it also has the potential to just be not very good. So it's an interesting decision. I think I'm just going to take the Imp Master. This is what my gut tells me to take. Emperor Cobra is something that my mind is saying, you know what, maybe this card is a little bit more consistent and better. That's really, when you think about it, when I'm playing arena runs, the thing that I'm trying to do is not win a game. It's win 12 games, or at least 7 games, or something like that. So you want a card that's going to be consistent. It's going to be good in every situation, so that every single time you draw the card, you're like, oh, sweet, I have this card now. And Imp Master sometimes doesn't say that. So, you know what, I just convinced myself to take the Emperor Cobra. Alright, this is another interesting pick. So now I have 3 3s. I could use another Earthen Ring, and I could also be happy with a Frostwolf Warlord. I don't have too much on the top end. I know I was saying that I did at the beginning, but all I have is 2 creatures over 5 mana, and you usually want like 5 at least. And we're getting towards the end of the draft, but I think Earthen Ring Farseer is going to be a little bit better for my deck than Frostwolf, so... Alright, well, we got our 5-drop. Doomsayer is not something that I'm considering playing. I don't know. Sometimes you play against this card and your opponent's like, okay. It's really good that it's at the start of your turn. I mean, it would be better if it just, like, when it entered the battlefield, just destroyed everything. But basically what it means is that you're going to be the first one who's able to play creatures afterwards if they can't kill it right away. Sometimes they can kill it or silence it or something, but for the most part, I mean, it's not a terrible card, but Faceless Manipulator is a pretty powerful one, and really helps out. Alright, Cult Master is by far the most powerful card here. Drawing is not something that Warlock really needs help with, but at the same time, it's so much more powerful than this really bad 2-drop and this really bad 1-drop. I mean, this guy's so bad because he can just be pinged off so easily, and you can lose your card of value just insanely easily, so I don't really like playing that guy. Alright, so Spiteful Smith or Priestess of a Loon. Neither of them have great abilities, but Priestess heals me, which is something that I've been stressing is pretty important. But then again, a 4/6 for 5 might just, I mean, is a lot better of a body than a 5/4 for 6. So I think I'm going to go with this route, even though healing is something that I do value higher in this deck than others. So I do like Soulfire as a card, and I'm going to take it. I'm considering how many is too many. And that's a tough question because obviously a deck of 30 Soulfires is good, but how good is a deck of 12 Soulfires and other stuff? Probably not as good. So I don't really know how to answer that one. Alright, so Boulder Fist, Ogre, or Loot Hoarder. So I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I just need another beefy creature. I do like Loot Hoarder, and I like it in this deck, and I don't have enough 2-drops. I only have 3 2-drops, really. But I can draw on 2, and that's fine. And I really want some more beef in this deck. So that was less of a pick about what I thought the better card was, and more of a pick of what I thought this deck needed. And I think that's something that I value a lot higher than other players. And I'm not saying that I'm correct or they're correct. I'm just saying that that's just the way I play this game. And if you would have just taken the card for your curve or for a base strictly based on power level, you always draft based on power level. And I'm not saying that that's wrong. I don't really know. I haven't done enough research or played enough games using two different styles. This is just a style that I like better and I think works better more of the time. But I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, I'm going to take a Drain Life here. Not a very powerful card, but dealing an extra couple of damage is always nice. So I'll be happy to pick that guy up. So here... This is a tough one, because none of these cards are good. I think I'm going to go with the Elven Archer, though I might not. I don't want a second Wind Fury Harpy. I don't want more 6-drops. It's between Nightblade and Elven Archer. I already have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.5, 6.5. I mean, I don't hate Nightblade as a card. It's just a little bit weak. I'm gonna take the Elven Archer here. Hopefully I won't regret it. I'm very happy that I didn't take another 5-drop because I would just get too many. Dragonlane Mechanic is terrible. Mr. Bitey is not very powerful, turns out, and Murloc Raider is obviously bad. So let's take another Spiteful Smith. Apparently this is a Spiteful Smith deck. Excuse me. So this pack is god awful. I can take the Summoning Portal, and I think I probably will. I have a lot of expensive minions, even just 4 mana minions and less, so I'll take it. I'm unwilling to play Succubus because too much of the time you play this card on turn 2, discard a random card, your opponent plays a 2 mana 3/2, and then you trade, and then you just start crying because you just had to waste a card. So it kind of sucks. 4/3 is definitely better than a 3/2, but not a card's worth. You're basically paying a card for a 0 mana banana, which is not good, which banana just gives a minion +1/+1. 4 Soulfire, sure. These two cards are terrible. No real discussion needed. And then finally, don't like either of these two, though I do like Mana Addict a lot better when I'm running 4 Soulfires. So we'll go with the Young Priestess. It's not a very good card, so I didn't end up getting enough 2-drops, which sucks. Maybe I should have taken that Loot Hoarder over the Boulderfist Ogre. Hindsight, I would, because I got some more 5-drops and could have gotten another Harpy if I wanted. But in the end, I think that this deck is still pretty good. It's got a little bit of a weakness early game, but I have Soulfires to shore up that weakness. So basically I can just Soulfire, kill my opponent's creatures early on, and then use the fact that my overall power level of my minion is higher to gain my advantage back and stay in the game. So 4 Soulfires might be too many, but I really don't know. And hopefully we'll find out. It could be that I'm overvaluing Soulfire, and that's why I never do well in Warlock. But anyway, thank you guys for watching so far. I guess I'll probably do a video, but I need to cut it off right now and rest my voice for a moment or two. So yeah, see you soon. Bye. Alright, back. Time to play some games with this deck. I don't know, for whatever reason, this class just doesn't get me excited. Maybe, I think it just has the class cards, the specific class-specific cards. I used to love them when you had Flame Imp that only dealt 2 damage to you and Blood Imp that just buffed all your minions by a health, but taking those two out, and you really lose a lot of the power in your class-specific cards, because those are 2 of the most powerful ones. But that's alright. I don't want any of these cards in my starting hand. I'm happy that I'm on the draw, because then I can hopefully skip a 2 or a 3 and go to a couple of 4s and stuff, but... Or I can just have 2 1-drops in my opening hand. That's also a possibility and a nice little thing going on here. I don't have any Twilight Drakes. If I had a Twilight Drake or a Mountain Giant or something, that'd be awesome. I would just like coin into Life Tap and then just start the drawing process here. Alright, well my opponent didn't do anything on turn 1. I was planning on saving this guy because he's a lot better. Young Priestess is a lot better to play later to automatically buff your creatures, but if my opponent didn't do anything on turn 1 and he doesn't have a hero ability that can ever deal with this, then I'll be alright. Draw a card, and now I've got a nice little setup for turn 3. I can either play a Stormwind Knight or a Chillwind Yeti, or I can do one of those two and still So I can also Soulfire that, but I'm not going to. So Elven Archer is really good against this. So I could Elven Archer, coin that. That doesn't sound good. I'm just going to draw here. And then drop an Elven Archer to pew pew that. And then I can trade off. I do want to make the trade here because I don't want to go too low against this guy. And then I would already be down to 23. I do have an Earthen Ring here in hand, but it's okay. So my opponent's got himself a nice little 3/3 here. It's a little bit bigger than my Chillwind Yeti can handle. Or not my Chillwind Yeti, than my Stormwind Knight can handle. That's alright. I'm just going to drop this Yeti. And Soulfire. Do I Soulfire here? Just to gain a significant... Yeah, I'm going to do that. Because right now what my opponent can do... Yeah, it's a little annoying, but it wasn't the best card in my hand. Right now what my opponent could have done was attack into my Yeti with his face and his 3/3, clear the board, play another minion, and then I'm behind again. So playing it this way means that my opponent has to do something to take care of my Yeti. Like that. Crazed Alchemist. Alright, so I have a couple options here. Alright, so if I play this Mad Bomber... no, that wouldn't work. If I play this Mad Bomber and I hit his guy and... Okay, so I could go all in. No, that wouldn't work. Alright, so that's not a strategy. What I could do to take this guy out is just Defender and Crazed Alchemist. So I think I'm going to do that here. Because I definitely want to take out his guys, and then this way my defender gets full value. I still have 4, 5, or 5, 6 worth of power on board, and he's got nothing out. So this is pretty reasonable. If he plays something big here, I can always just drop a Cult Master and trade trade favorably. So that's okay. Basically, this guy ended up being a 3/2 for 2 since he added 1 power to the board when he entered, because he switched my Yeti, which was going to die when it attacked in. Anyway, so it was actually a pretty favorable play, or a pretty reasonable play for this Alchemist. And he was also a cheap minion that I can use to add to this thing. All right, so there is a trade, and that's fine. Earthen Ring. Alright, so I'm going to drop this Mad Bomber, hope to hit this. I'm not sure of the chances, but I know it's pretty reasonable. And I just completely took that guy out. I was hoping to actually hit this one so I could drop the Cult Master, but I think the most logical play here is to heal this guy up so he can't get hit by the weapon. I mean, the weapon can still hit the Mad Bomber, but that's okay. So this game is going pretty well for me. I'm up a little bit, not really. I'm basically even. This Battle Axe can take out this, and then we're both even on cards. Normally this would be an issue. Actually, it's still an issue if he takes out my Mad Bomber, which is for sure the play. So yeah, this is actually an issue, because I have no easy way to deal with it. I could draw 3 cards this turn. Actually, I'm going to be drawing 4 cards. Hopefully one of them can be a Soulfire. Is that really my best play? Probably not. So alternative play, well, okay, so if my play is Cult Master, then I'm going to draw. And it's either going to be Cult Master and kill that thing, or life tap and play this. So it makes more sense to life tap, get all the information possible. So Youthful Brewmaster is an interesting draw here. It means that I can pick this guy back up. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to drop a big creature and then ship the turn. So he's probably going to kill one of my creatures next turn, but that's okay, because then I can just finish it off with the Spiteful Smith, or I can, hopefully he doesn't kill this defender and I can brew it back and then get a lot of value out of it that way. So yeah, I figured that he would just attack here. This Fen Creeper ended up being pretty annoying for me, pretty big stop sign. If he didn't kill the Mad Bomber, then it would have been perfect. I would have been able to just drop a Cult Master, kill this thing basically for free. Alright, so game is definitely shifting, and my opponent he just gained like 4 card advantage that turn. He's not like significantly destroying me or anything, but it's definitely not pretty. Alright, so I need to design my turn here. Alright, so I think I kill this, attack, brew back my defender, and play a Wind Fury Harpy. Other choices involve drawing to try and hit one of my other 3 Soulfires, 1 in 5 chance. That doesn't sound worth it. Because my backup plan, I guess I don't have to play the Brewmaster, I could just Wind Fury Harpy. If I do draw the Soulfire, that's really good. I do want to be able to take this out this turn. Alright, I'm gonna draw a card here. Summoning Portal might change things. So if I Summoning Portal, no, this is still gonna cost 2. No, alright, I'm not gonna Summoning Portal this turn. When you have so many choices, it actually is very difficult to make decisions. Instead of playing the Harpy, I think it's a little bit better to heal this guy up so it can't die to the Azure Drake, and then panda back the Defender. The only problem, he could just eat one of my guys. I could finish it off with a Cult Master. I don't know. It's not great for me. I've got 7, 8 card. Oh god, I have no Swamp Oozes in this deck, so this thing is just going to run Train on me for the rest of the game. Basically what it means that I have to do is just play a lot of creatures per turn and hopefully wear him down slowly, because his Gore Howl is going to be hitting me for a lot of damage every turn. Alright, so hopefully this just comes to my face. Alright, that was for sure the right play on his part, but would have been really nice for me. Alright, so if I play this for 4, I still have access to 5 mana, so I can play this for 2 and this for 3. Or this for 2. Or I could just not play the Summoning Portal this turn, and play this and this. Don't need to play Defender this turn, so I think that's what I'm going to do. And I think I'd rather trade here. It's slightly better. Now that I think about it, I might not want to play the Spiteful Smith, since next turn it won't be able to die to this. So I'm just going to drop... I could play Summoning Portal and Defender. No, I can't play Defender. Yeah, maybe if I had played Summoning Portal first, I could have played Summoning Portal, Defender, and Cult Master, which I had thought of, but I had vetoed that play in favor of playing the Spiteful Smith, but it ended up not really working out. Yeah, this Gore Howl is an issue just because my opponent has so many cards already. That shield block is actually really good for him because he's just gonna not be whittled down by hitting himself with all this damage. I don't know what kind of spell that could be. But I just expect a trade here and then a hit here. Can't really imagine why he would try and do something else in this situation. What now? Shield Slam. That seems really bad because he was going to kill this anyway, so he just made a mistake. Yeah, that was just... Oh, okay, he wants to kill it with his armor. Interesting play. Not sure if it was worth it. Soulfire is a great draw here. So I'm going to start this turn out. Let's see, 4, 4, 2. That sounds good. Yeah, let's try this. And then that's at 6. Alright, so may as well just get both of these things. I don't think the Summoning Portal's surviving the turn anyway. I'm just going to take this guy out. Yeah, so now this thing won't kill this without any extra damage. Mad Bomber. Wow, that was, I mean, these Mad Bomber is always a hilarious card, because, I mean, just to see the randomness that gets thrown and where it gets thrown and stuff is kind of interesting. But yeah, he's just going to hit this thing also, I'm sure. Now it doesn't look, I mean, he still has 4 cards in hand and 8 crystals available to him, so he definitely might have a way to take out the summoning portal, but it'd be nice for it to survive a turn. I could pop back this defender, play it again. So, while I mean, this is definitely like a boss level opponent first. Oh man, a Hellfire would be mighty good right here. Drain Life. All right, I can deal with a Drain Life. Well, actually, I have enough mana. 1, 3, 6. 9. I don't have enough mana to draw. Okay. Alright, yeah, it's worth it. Alright, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna hit that. Oh no! What? No! Oh, that was so bad. I meant to not hit that. Shoot. I meant to hit it with that. That's really unfortunate. That was just a huge misplay. Probably game losing. I just clicked the wrong button. I was thinking something in my head and I actioned something else. Alright. Then play this guy and this guy. Alright. So, I mean, it didn't end up being an awful turn, but I think replaying the Argus would have been a lot better than taking out the Scarlet Crusader. And even if I was going to hit something with the... Oh, God. I need to draw my Siphon Soul for that. That being said, I'm not completely screwed here. So you can just finish it off with that. That's fine. But he can double hit to take that out. I can just eat this Berserker. And he's just gonna hit my face with... Oh, no, he's gonna... Yeah, right. He's gonna finish that off. Alright. Ogre. That's a good draw. Cobra. That's also a good draw. So what we're gonna do here is do that into this. Ugh. Yeah, I think I actually have to just play this. Just really mana inefficient. Oh, no, that was a dumb play, because he can just take it out with his gore. Oh, God. I think I just lost the game because of that play. I don't know what is with me today. Maybe my cognitive processing has gone down a touch because of my my illness. Jeez, bro. Alright, so, I mean, like, he played Gorehowl, Sea Giant, and Alexstrasza. I'm not complaining. I'm not, like, upset about the luck. I'm just trying to explain why I didn't really have a chance at winning this game. My opponent just played cards that are significantly of higher value than the cards. Like, this is the only epic that I have, and I mean, he just played bigger things that I couldn't deal with. So I think I played that game pretty well. I meant to well played him. I think I played that game pretty well. It just wasn't really one that I could win. Maybe if I had played more aggressively at the beginning, but there's no way I could have. So basically, if I could have played more aggressively at the beginning, then maybe I could have gone under the Gorehowl. He also played a Shield Slam that game after a shield block. So I think his deck was very, very good. And maybe not, I don't know. I think it was very good and very well matched up for my playstyle and that game, leading to a position where there was really no chance that I was going to win that one. Yeah, whatever. Losing one game doesn't really matter that much, because then you get placed into a lower bracket, and it's pretty easy to win in the lower brackets. So these two drops are just not compatible at all. I'll keep one of them, but I don't want to keep the other. And I'll also keep the Chillwind Yeti. And now I'm going to explain why they're not compatible, because that didn't make any sense to anyone but me. So if I play the Mad Bomber first, then I have to pick it up when I play the Panda, which isn't so good. I can like hit him for 3 and then pick it up, and it's just not really worth the coin, I guess. But if I play this, the Panda first, and then this thing, then I can hit my Panda with this thing and kill it, so Also not ideal. And if my opponent is playing Warlock Tidehunter, then I am just a happy, happy person. I mean, he probably doesn't have a choice, but it's going to be very good for my Crazed Alchemist. Even though it didn't take it out, the entire card, it's still, the fact that I got the 2-1 is awesome. If I had gotten the 1-1, then it would have just been an even trade, but killing the 2-1 is so valuable. And I didn't even hit myself, so that was nice too. Alright, there's a Demolisher. This is going to be a pretty sweet turn. I have two options here, actually. Oh my god. Yeah, alright. I have made my decision. So my two options are coining out Dark Iron Dwarf, hitting that, and not soul-firing this turn. And my other option is coining out Chillwind Yeti and soul-firing that and just cleaning this up. And I think that is a lot better. Because I have two soul-fires in hand. Lost the Dark Iron Dwarf. That is the one that I did not want to lose the most because I wanted to play it next turn. But what you really have to think about it is that I will just draw an extra card eventually later, and it's not that I'm losing a Dark Iron Dwarf, it's just that I never had that card to begin with. Which is sort of logical, but at the same time, I'm planning my game, so I wanted to use the coin on turn 4 so that I can play 2 4-drops. So planning my game around it is a little bit more of a reason why that's not exactly the case. So Mortal Coil is a very good draw for him. It's going to keep him in this game. If I was just able to trade that off with like another 2-drop that he would play, then he would be so far behind. But as it stands, I think I'm alright. I don't have any Mortal Coils in my deck. Well, it's going to be the play for the turn. It ends up 1-for-1ing the Harvest Golem, which is often pretty difficult to do, but still not great for me. I mean, keeping the board clear is really what I want to do at this point in the game, and Drain Life allowed me to do that. It allows me to play around something like a Shattered Sun Cleric. That is an interesting one. That just straight up dies to the Chillwind Yeti. He might be able to get something else out this turn, and I don't really know why he did that. I can actually just Crazed Alchemist and kill that. And I don't even need to hit it with the Yeti. But I can also just hit it with the Yeti and I don't need to use the Crazed Alchemist. And I don't really want to panda this back because I want it on the table. Because I'm not going to play it next turn because I have Boulder Fist Ogre or Siphon Soul. So I'm not going to be playing this again for a while, so I don't really want it sitting in my hand. I'd rather it trade on board and try and find a better use for Brewmaster. So maybe I should have just dropped this Alchemist. I still have the Panda in hand to deal with, or to bump something back into hand later. And he had a Soulfire, so that did not work out for me at all. And this thing is just going to start getting huge because of the Blood Imp, but that's okay. I can always make it tiny with Alchemist. It's too bad that I can't target this even with this ability, because I would totally do that. You just kill the Blood Imp. That's one of the coolest things about Crazed Alchemist, is it can kill 0-power things. There aren't that many of them, but they still do exist. So he's got a Drain Life and a Shadow Bolt. Sense Demons. Oh god, that's so bad. He only has like 4 demons in his deck. Why is he playing Sense Demons? I have a feeling that this opponent really doesn't know what he's doing. Just the way that he's played these last 2 turns makes me completely confused. So I'm probably just going to run that into that, but first I do want to draw a card because I'm going to be drawing this turn anyway. Because this is going to be my only real play here. And I mean, I can just steamroll the game from here. I've got so much card advantage on my opponent, and I have really good reactive spells in hand. So, I mean, just playing that Drain Life on the Ogre for no reason was such a telling mistake. And the Blood Imp and the 2 worthless imps, like, I just don't know what he's doing. Shadow Flame? What are you doing, buddy? And the last card in your hand is... We're not going to find out here because he's going to draw. I might pick up the Ogre this turn. Just just to gain it 4 health. Like, it's a lot of mana. No, I'm not gonna do that. I have too many good things to do. Let's just get this guy out of, like, nowhere near Hellfire range. And yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to get this one. Even if my opponent plays something ridiculous and I can Siphon Soul it. So I should be alright here. Oh my god, you can't just put Sense Demons in your deck when you don't have demons. 5 mana for 2 1/1s is not a good card. That card's not so good either. Okay, well, I mean, I guess this is what I get for losing my first game. I'm probably playing against a newer player, and he doesn't really know the best way to play this game yet, or the best cards to take, and he should just be watching some Daisho videos, and then he'll figure out what kind of things he should be looking for when he's in a draft, and, you know, stuff will work out for him. But yeah, alright, so that one was not really a contest. My opponent was playing cards that didn't do anything, or they didn't do enough, so that was good. After playing 2 games, I don't know how often I'm going to ever do this again, but I want to do a little bit of a report. So after playing 2 games with this deck, I think when I first drafted it, I thought it was a little bit more powerful. Youthful Brewmaster has been pretty unimpressive. It's been difficult to get real value out of him, and playing him on 2 with the Mad Bomber, that game was a real issue, and I did not want to do that. Soulfires are okay, but losing some of my cards is bad because I don't have too many high power level cards. There's a lot of weak cards in this deck. I think that's something that I didn't notice the first time, or like right as I had drafted it. So Elven Archer, Young Priestess, to some extent Crazed Alchemist, Stormwind Knight, Summoning Portal, Darkscale Healer. Spiteful Smith is fine, not good. Wind Fury Harpy. So there's a whole bunch of cards in this deck that really are not ideal. And then there's like some mid-level cards, and there's really no just outstanding cards. I mean, there's a Chillwind Yeti and an Ogre and a Siphon Soul, but just my level of rares to commons is pretty low, and then the one epic that I have is kind of unimpressive. So definitely not too excited about this deck, and I don't know how well it'll do. I think I can probably get it to 7 wins, but there's definitely a chance that I do lose in 4 or 5 or something like that. But anyway, thank you guys for watching this video. I will be back hopefully tomorrow with another video. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing else to mention. If you have anything to say about this deck, how well you think it was, what you think I should have taken early on, I would love to hear from you. I always like to learn. And if my subscribers can help me out with some videos, and or in my videos, and tell me what I'm doing wrong in my drafts, and I'm always willing to listen. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.